You're listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast with your hosts, Emily
and Jason. Emily, I'm fine. It's happened. It's happened. I am finally the bad guy.
For once.
For once. Man, YouTube especially going a little crazy over our AI video and how I'm a terrible person. If you haven't seen it, it was Monday's video about where we do a skit about AI generating Studio Ghibli characters. Apparently that's a hot topic.
Somebody showed me this. She showed me a picture of her kid as a Studio Ghibli character. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's adorable.
Yeah.
And then you took a picture of us as soon as she was talking about it. You took a picture of us talking about it, unbeknownst to me.
Right.
And you turned it into a Studio Ghibli drawing style. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then you did one of our boys, and then I posted it on Instagram and immediately started receiving horrid messages about how terrible I am. I had not even really thought about it, and I had not actually taken the action. I'm innocent. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, you actually haven't done this yourself.
I don't have.
It's pretty. The video is actually pretty accurate of what happened because I'm taking these photos and like, hey, this is cool, and then you're like, then informing me, actually, this probably isn't the best thing to do. And we start reading about it, and like, oh yeah, which we're gonna dip into the various aspects of it here in a second and the implications of it. But honestly, you'd see stuff on Twitter or in the news or whatever about the AI Studio Ghibli thing, and it's all so for the people who don't understand, it's you take a picture, you upload it into ChatGPT, and you can tell it to make a Studio Ghibli version of you, which is this,
Japanese animation style. Correct,
yeah. And everyone across the board, wherever you see it, is like, oh, this is super fun. This is neat. I'm so excited to be able to do something like this. And there are implications. And a lot of, especially, which really hits me because the problem is I just didn't even think about it.
Right.
And I should have. I really should have.
But you use ChatGPT for things like...
Oh, like fixing up an email better. Or like a thesaurus, oftentimes, which is not, I think that's a perfectly good use of AI. But like, yeah, I never even thought about, which, in your periphery, you think about, oh, AI is going to take over movies. AI is going to take over, design jobs. AI is going to take over artist jobs. And then when this new thing, like the anime characters come out, it's like the first thought for just a person who doesn't do that kind of thing, drawing and, art really in that sense, I didn't think about it.
Right.
I didn't think about it. And it wasn't even on my radar in the moment. And the more I thought about it, it's like, oh, yeah, this really is kind of terrible.
I love how when you're the bad guy, you can walk it back and explain it, but I'm the bad guy all the time. And I got to keep up
the... No, a thought hit me.
And I also love how many screenshots you've sent me of things people have said about you.
Shall we?
If I did that on videos,
it wouldn't be as constant as you think it would be.
Yes, it would be. No. It's all the time. It's so funny. There's a double standard here, Jason. You're like, nah, people ain't, nah.
This is from Special Effects Studios, which, wow, yeah, they're definitely getting impacted. I hate Jason now. No one should be supporting AI. Yeah.
But I feel like the message of the video comes through.
It is that serious an issue. Jason, I've never been more disgusted with your actions. I'm actually upset with Jason. Boo, Jason. Boo, boo. Throwing tomatoes. These are all different people, not the same person.
Okay. Let's move on.
Okay. Hold on. Jason has never been so genuinely evil before. Those are some of the comments.
I had to get that last one in there.
Well, that was a pretty rough one. It's a pretty rough one. Yeah, I mean, And then so from that we like, okay, yeah, we look at reading more about it, and then it's like, yeah, okay, let's make a video out of this. Basically what happened, essentially. But there are problems with AI. Or were you going somewhere?
No, first I wanted to say, but how do you feel using that for the purpose of the video? It's
Well,
like one time we threw eggs against a door and people freaked out about the waste of the eggs.
to be fair, they were the cheap eggs.
That's even worse.
Yeah, okay.
We
Well,
supported factory farmed eggs.
honestly, I feel less bad about like the environmental impact from doing like cuz people here's the problem when you're talking about environmental impact and you're going to be a keyboard warrior on the internet about people you're typing on your phone and leaving a comment on YouTube or Instagram or whatever while you're scrolling through video. Do you think those aren't using servers that get really hot that use water to cool them?
Right.
Like it's not
not
one
just that. The case that's on your phone.
There's a lot of things. The
minerals within the phone that had to be mined that often people use child labor for.
Correct.
And like, yeah,
it's one of those things that can go as deep as you want to. And I understand generative AI uses more energy than a lot of other things. I think when you're using stuff like text-based AI for like, okay, I need some ideas for meal prepping, whatever. I don't think that necessarily puts any more of a strain than it would be to Google it. I could be wrong. I don't know the particulars on that. I'm guessing it's not that different because it's really just searching Google more efficiently than you can.
Right.
To find certain articles. So you're either using Google servers or whoever server you're using, or you're using an AI, because Google's giving you an AI overview anyway. It gives you search plus AI overview.
Right.
So, I mean, how much more is a Google search using? Now, I understand making images, that's a different thing. And then it opens up another can of worms when it comes to artists. I get that. By the way, I mean, we generated one image, I think, for the video. The others were already made by me. So, before I really gave it a lot of thought. It was the one of you that was like looking angry. I'm like, well, I have to make this. This will be funny.
Yeah.
I don't, the only part I actually feel bad about slightly is like, at what point is it somebody else's creative property that we're kind of using here?
Here's the thing though about AI and art is it can't really get it right. A lot of times like fingers are weird.
Yeah.
Or like I'm served these images of like beautiful kitchens, it seems to be. And you can zoom in and see.
Like on Pinterest or something?
Yeah, or on Facebook or whatever. You can zoom in and like see that it's made by AI. I am not fooled. If it's so perfect, then it's clearly AI. Right. If there are like plants growing in places plants wouldn't normally grow. And then there's always like a faucet that's randomly over the countertop with no sink basin. Like if you look closely, usually you can tell, but I think it is getting better at it because
well, that's the thing is that like this it's all just started. Really. The way it is now, this is all brand new. So 3-5 years from now, we're looking at a situation where we actually can't tell the difference, and that's the problem. Yeah, I mean, even the Studio Ghibli photos or whatever that were created, even those don't look as good as Studio Ghibli. They don't.
Right.
They just don't. You can tell a difference. I'm not saying that it's even excusable. I'm not saying that it's a good thing. I'm just saying it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
It's close. It's getting close, and then pretty soon it's going to reach a point where it's like, oh, okay, what is the difference? And how do we deal with this from a consumer standpoint, from an artist standpoint? I think, I mean, I've got some actual, some real comments here that would spark some interesting discussion.
Do we want to pick a topic to talk about right now? Like, Do we want to talk about the art aspect right now, or do we want to talk about the environmental impact?
Let's go environmental. We'll get into art later.
Okay. One thing I do want to say that really, I mean, you kind of touched on it about the like phone. They're holding the phone in their hand and all the things that go into that. But people do like easily, it's very easy to avoid using ChatGPT. That's not really that
as of right now
big of a sacrifice.
Yeah.
But these same people get plastic grocery bags. Don't think about their plastic consumption. Use paper towels like they're going out of style. Like, what is it about AI that makes them? Is it because it's easy to avoid? So then they feel like.
Well, it's new. Anything new like this gets the same sort of backlash a lot of times. Smartphones had a certain backlash.
What makes that person take a stand but not take a stand about the other things? When I get I'm like, so that's like we talked about, the waste is so overwhelming to me. I sometimes just feel paralyzed in it, thinking about all of the waste constantly.
Why is this one the hill to die on? And in terms
and so
of
then
environmental
why don't
impact,
people try to make changes? Like, if this is going to be what people are going to take a stand on, I hope that they also recognize the rest of their
stuff,
and try to
fast
make
fashion
changes.
The amount of garbage we use, the plastic that we use for every little thing,
and then
throw away, single use.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I really wanted some fresh sage. I don't have any sage growing right now, and I mean, I know I could use dried. But I just wanted some fresh sage, so I went to the store, and the only thing I could get was in this plastic container.
Right.
And it's like 5 leaves.
And it's not like one of those containers you could just use for something else.
No. I mean, maybe I could like look on Pinterest for an idea for turning this herb thing into a window hanger with dried flowers, Mod Podge on it, you know.
And you can't just take it out of the plastic thing and like give it back to the store or something. It's got the barcode on it. It's like,
yeah. So, but I like, it just kind of kills me when people are like, I can't believe you do that, because of the environmental impact. Without.
Yeah. Why is that from the environmental impact standpoint? Why is that the one thing that I totally.
But I
agree.
guess because it's easy. It is easy to avoid.
Back in the day, I'm sure, I don't know about environmental impact, because I don't know if people made that much of a stink about smartphones as they are about this, but it wasn't great.
I like really analog things.
I've become more that way, but
I'm
recently.
Like, it is really more pleasing to me.
And it tends to work. When you need it to work.
Yeah, it tends to work. Yeah, I have all sorts of issues with my phone, and I'm always having issues with technology that other people don't experience, and it's not because I'm doing something. I'm not just like randomly clicking buttons or I don't know. You can vouch for this, right?
Yeah, you're a little bit of a boomer.
It's
Older
weird
boomer.
Because it's like, what happened? Nothing. Like, I didn't actually do anything wrong.
Why doesn't my thumbprint work? Man, I'm so glad they moved to Face ID so that you it was. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but
why doesn't my email work?
Well, my email just quit receiving emails. Like, what did I do?
I try to share a note with you, like, I can't open it.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I'm not signed in.
Look,
what's my password?
No, that wasn't the issue. It just wouldn't let me open it. But let me go back to my fingerprints.
You were born 90 years old.
I have weird fingerprints. So when they tried to do an FBI check on me to be a substitute teacher when we first moved back, like, I was denied because my fingerprints wouldn't go through. There's like, nope, sorry, you can't sub.
Excuse me, you don't exist. So we're gonna have to not. But
if you look at them, they have like lines all through them. They're jagged. It's weird. I have wrinkly finger.
You're a woman of the dirt. That's the deal. If you look if you looked at your fingernails right now, you would know that you're a crunchy mom for sure.
Can you zoom in on that?
I don't know if I can. That's pretty close detail.
Pretty bad.
You probably see it from a mile away, actually. But, no.
So tell us about the actual environmental impact.
It's pretty bad.
I know that it's
not
water,
great.
But see, like, so I've had a hard time really understanding water shortages because we live in Kentucky. It's so wet.
We're in a flood
We
zone
have
right now.
water. Like,
We have a
we've
flood
never
warning.
had to think about our water consumption because it is so readily available.
We're very blessed in that regard. Yes.
And so when we went to California in the RV, I think there was a day we like washed off our RV and somebody gave us a hard time. Remember
not the
that?
whole RV. It's not like we were just, maybe.
We were just washing it because it was really dirty and that was our home.
Yeah.
Like, what, you just leave the dirt on to
In California, you
rust?
do.
I don't know anybody. Somebody came up to us and was giving us such a hard time about washing our RV. And I was like, listen, it's the first time we've washed it. And we've had it for 10 months.
We're from Kentucky. We can do what we want. We have all the water. You want water? Come over here.
I mean, the ocean was less than a mile away.
It's different water.
I know.
Yeah. All right. Environmental impact of AI. Training a single large language model like ChatGPT can consume as much energy as 500 round-trip flights between New York and San Francisco.
What?
But that's it. That's training a single large language model. So that's like the whole system.
Oh.
That's like the millions of people that... So I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know what kind of timeline we're looking at, and I don't know how many users are training this model. That's the problem with finding any statistics about it, is you can't get
really
concrete.
Understand, like, how many models are there.
So that sounds like a lot, but we don't really know what we're looking at.
If it's like, if we've got 5 models for the whole country.
Well, yeah, that would be...
That doesn't seem like that much.
Right. Here's a little more concrete something. Data centers often consume millions of gallons of water per year, which that's not just AI. That's
data centers.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Some estimates say training a large AI model can use over 700,000 liters or about 185,000 gallons of fresh water. Again, using that training a large AI model, I don't know what kind of...
But is the water then just lost?
No. So what I've been learning today in the comments by a lot of people is that from the water standpoint, most of it's recycled water. It's a lot of water.
Yeah.
It's a lot of water, and some of it I'm sure is lost over time. But it's like a computer that you cool with water. Some of these gaming computers you cool with water, and it just recycles its own water.
Yeah.
It cycles through. But we're talking tons of water, and there's tons of data centers too. So
where are these data centers? I've never seen a data center.
Have you ever seen Area 51? It's out there. So they're out there. AI, just like your phones, AI runs on specialized hardware, GPUs, TPUs, which require rare earth minerals mined in environmentally damaging ways.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that, but that's no different than a computer or a phone.
Lots of e-waste. Right. Well, I mean, it is because they're massive. But yeah, what's worse, the data centers or the production of like phones and things like that? I don't know. And that's pretty much what it gets into from the environmental standpoint. Brought to you, by the way, from ChatGPT. I asked.
Gross. Why'd you do that?
I thought it would be funny.
Oh.
To ask ChatGPT, what are the negative impacts of you?
Mm.
And it listed them out. I thought that would be clever, and
So,
here we are.
Is it true that your own personal, like, I don't know how it works. Do you have an account? Develops a personality? Like, there was a lady in the comments saying that her Chat GPT says, like, gives her compliments. Like, you're doing a great job.
Well, that's a little weird. She probably told it to do that.
Really?
At some point, or maybe it sensed that she...
That's really sad, kind of.
She might not have.
Okay.
She might not have. I don't know. When I've used it for, like, trying to restructure a message or something, it does try to update its memory about things that you've prompted it before so that it can better serve what you want. But you can also say, forget all the things you know about me. And whether it does or doesn't, I'm sure it's in a database, whatever, it'll wipe the slate clean for the purposes of your next prompt if you want it to do that. So yeah, it does take what you've typed in and put in before to then help
in consideration.
Well, to just cater it to you.
Okay.
To make it more efficient for you to use.
Like, I
is what you would
spent
want.
2 hours meal planning yesterday. I spent a very long time meal planning, making the grocery list, whatever. And in about 1 minute, you typed, give me 10 keto meals and then make a grocery list. And it did it.
Yeah, and ingredients, with like ingredient lists and recipes.
Yeah, that's frustrating. To then like take a stand against it and use all my time. And so it makes me wonder, like, are we suffering because we don't have the same village? Like, we don't have a village.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a natural next step in what we've already been experiencing.
Yeah, but when I've been talking about like moms who choose not to make crunchy choices, a lot of it to me boils down to like a lot of women don't want to breastfeed because it's hard. They have to give up sleep. Yeah. They have to go to work. They, like all these things. A lot of it to me boils down to we don't have the proper support as a society, especially women, to continue to do things like they were always done. We're far more secluded, separated. Families are sprawled.
But that's been happening since forever, since the Industrial Revolution. I mean, it's been happening slowly. It's definitely been happening exponentially since the early 2000s.
People were still supportive. I mean, I know I talk about the book Little Britches probably a little too often, but just reading about his neighbors and how much they pitched in and helped and that's
you're
just
talking pre-Industrial Revolution, aren't you? Pretty much, or at least the dawn of it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did that because they had to, and people don't think they have to anymore, to our detriment. Because, I mean, we don't have this community. Our communities are online, and that doesn't really help us a lot. It's all emotional, and it's not. There's no physical aspect.
Kind of negative emotional support because certainly. It's so extreme.
Yeah.
So I feel like AI might be the support that people are craving. Like, it is a lot of mental energy to come up with little menial things like meal planning, grocery lists, those kind of things. Even like gift ideas, which I haven't done, but I wanted to try it out. But I haven't tried that. But how nice would it be to just be like, choose a gift for my dad who was he's a veteran. He enjoys whatever, XYZ.
We're not going to do that, Tom. We're thinking of you specifically.
But I'm just saying, that would be so convenient and relieve some
And that's what
pressure.
Technology does. Yeah. That's what the smartphone did. That's what computers have done. That's what all of the advancements that you've seen in the last 50 or 60 years have done, is made the menial tasks. That's what washing machines do.
Now, the problem is it's kind of getting into not so menial.
Yeah, it's becoming micro. It's getting away from using your physical self to getting away from using your brain.
Right.
Yeah. Now we've moved
told
from
parents let their kids cheat on their schoolwork using ChatGPT.
What?
So then
parents let their kids do it?
That's what somebody messaged me and told me that.
Why?
I don't know. So maybe because it's the same kind of idea of, well, you're never going to have to remember that type of math because you have a calculator, because you're always going to have a phone.
That's always a good argument from a kid, but I've never heard of a parent being like, yeah, you're right. Because it's like, well, you teach them math so they can learn to use their brain. You don't teach them math so that they remember algebra for the rest of their lives.
I'm not saying that
No, I know. I'm just talking against those parents. I'm like, who would actually do that? That's crazy.
I mean, a parent who doesn't feel like sitting there and helping their child write an essay?
No, so as a parent, you look it up yourself and then tell them, all right, think, kid. If it's a math problem in particular, I'm going to have to use technology. If my kid comes to me with a complex math problem, I'm going to have to look it up.
Yeah.
And then try to help them work through it. And then, like, as a guide, I know how to do it because I've looked it up. I mean, somebody out there would probably say, well, why aren't you figuring it out yourself? Well, I don't want to learn algebra again.
I'm good on the algebra, so
Yeah,
I'll
that's
take
what
care
you
of
said.
that.
I don't understand. Why can't I get algebra? PIMDAS, right? Whatever. The what's it called? Order of operations. I get it. I follow the steps. I end up with the wrong answer.
You
Every time.
also always have to do everything twice when you build something or put something together. You always mess something up, so you're clearly not actually following it.
It never fails that I fail. Every time I put something together, at least one time I put it on backwards. Put something on backwards.
Did you just do that with that Berg bike,
Yes.
buddy? The second time?
No.
Oh, look at you. So if you can do it once successfully, then you can do it again.
Not in algebra. For whatever reason, I could never, like, I guess there was just too many rules.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
more of a.
So the intellectual aspect is what's really tricky. And I'm going to tell our podcast listeners this, and I hope you're okay with me sharing this.
We'll see.
We paid an artist.
Oh, yeah.
$5,000. $5,000. I don't know if that sounds like a lot to you. It was a lot to me.
It's a lot.
$5,000 to create our logo.
Well, it came with several logos, but yeah. I mean, it's not just the one logo. It was.
Yeah, she did like a whole kit thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we got a very good deal on that.
No, it's a very good logo, and she's a talented artist.
Yeah, but even like with so many parameters, like you can only make 3 changes.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There were like rules to the contract. But obviously, because she has to protect her time as an artist.
Yeah.
But to know that I could just punch it into AI and say, like, create a logo.
With the correct prompts, come out with something.
And I can make as many changes as I want.
Yeah.
For free.
Well, yeah. That's kind of crazy.
That is crazy. And that's a little tempting. Honestly.
Yeah, it is. And it obviously, I don't ever want to go that route. And I think there is an option. Like, there is a, not option. There's a scenario in which I do think that there is a human touch to things. When you get into logos, it's kind of hard to see what that is.
Touch,
it kind of is. True art, I think, is going to survive.
Right. I love things
I think there are certain types of art that won't. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I love things that are like crusty, a little messy, a little messed up, imperfect. Something's a little off. I love that.
What if she used ChatGPT to make her logo?
Oh, man.
I don't think she did. I have no idea. I don't think she did. I don't think she did.
I don't know.
I don't even know if they were making pictures at that time. They might have been. I don't know. I have no idea.
I wonder if anybody's going to capitalize on this and use it and make some money as a business.
Oh, for logos and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people do. I'm sure they do. I'm sure. I mean, that's where you really see the hurt is, I mean, graphic designers are going to, I mean, they might become obsolete. Coders might become obsolete. And there's just no changing that. Website designers, a lot of things. That is true with a lot of technology that has come. This is just on I think, a bigger scale. I think animation's in trouble. I think, not yet.
But animation in its own field has been using computer technology.
Correct.
You know,
like,
so
there's
it's
not
like
much animation where people are just drawing anymore.
Right. It has it's like a snake eating its own tail, sort of, right?
Well, let's look at what is it with Studio Ghibli? According to a 2020 documentary, sorry, I'm butchering this. Hayao Miyazaki, he was one of the co-founders of Studio Ghibli. 10 years It's called 10 Years of Hayao Miyazaki. It took his team 1 year and 3 months to create a 4-second shot for one of their movies.
What?
On an average, it takes around 2 to 3 years to make a complete Studio Ghibli film. Studio Ghibli movie The Boy and the Heron took around 7 years to complete.
Wow.
Demonstrating the complex and laborious nature of this art form. Yeah, and I think stuff like that. Number one, people don't necessarily see that in the final production. They're not thinking about that.
Right. But they are so beautiful.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
They're
films
incredible.
Mm-hmm.
They are so well done. I'm afraid that in the next 10 years or so, maybe even less, those types of industries are in trouble. Unless something can be done to stop AI in its tracks. See, I think AI is a great thing and I think it should have stayed at menial tasks that don't need to be, that don't touch a creative bone, if that makes sense. Doesn't touch creativity.
Why don't we have robots that clean our house?
That was a comment. I actually wrote it down. Yep, you read that too. That is from Instagram, Brit Crawl. Whatever happened to using robots for cleaning the house? That's the kind of outsourcing I need. I agree 100% on that. That's hilarious. It's like, that's what we need. It's like, yeah, go through my email, clean up some grammar.
Right.
Or spelling. Like, that's spell check is AI.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. So it's been around for forever, but it's getting kind of crazy.
Somebody also commented, like, this hurts the artist.
Mm-hmm.
So Miyazaki or whatever his name is. But then someone else was like, how can I commission him to do a piece for me? Obviously, he's like a billionaire or something. So he's never going to do that. You'll never get that.
Right.
So is it hurting him and like the people who use it, are they the type of people who would pay for that type of art? And are they not then, like, it gets into this privilege thing. Like, is everyone not allowed to have a beautiful drawn picture of their child? What makes you so special that you can afford to pay an artist to do it, you know?
Right.
Like,
what is the line?
It's so tricky. Yeah.
And
what are they doing with it? Like,
right. I agree. It's a very tricky thing. Well, going back to what you were saying about paying $5,000 for a logo, it's like we're in a situation now, like, not us personally, but just in general, like, well, if you're starting a business and you can't afford an artist to come up with a logo, are you just going to go logo-less? No.
Yeah.
Logo-less.
Yeah.
It was Legolas's brother. Are you going to go logoless? Or do you just, like, you hand draw it? Or are you going to go to ChatGPT and create a logo?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, are you going to blame the person for doing that? Or should they not start their business with a good-looking logo? Like, are we going to not... Okay, I can't afford to hire a web developer because I want to start this web business. Are you not going to use AI?
What is Canva? Canva does it
has
have
AI elements? It's kind of like Photoshop, but I mean, Photoshop has AI elements.
Canva to make logos.
Yes, but you're creating it. Yeah, it gets so tricky because the thing is, you're paying Canva to access. I mean, there's a free version, but there's to access artwork. You pay to use things that people have created. And so at least there's the idea that artists are being paid if you're using their services.
Okay.
But it's a weird blurred line. Yeah, it all is, really. But at the same time, there's this movement of, like, what you're kind of talking about with the logo thing. Actually what you started talking about with Studio Ghibli, can people just not have a hand-drawn, air quotes, hand-drawn picture of themselves in that style, not making money off of it, not doing anything with it, just to see what it looks like? Well, it's kind of, it reminds me of that talk years ago when these nice DSLR cameras came out, and suddenly everyday people could make something that looks, if they become skilled enough, can make something that looks as good as what you would see in Hollywood. And it's like suddenly in the hands of other people, but it's not, they don't have to use a big giant cinematic camera that weighs
Right.
500 pounds, and they don't have to use a sound design team to walk around with boom mics, and they don't have to hire different editors. You have one person who can do all these things rather than a whole team of people who can do all these things. And it's kind of similar like that. You put
and then even from there to the iPhone can
Correct.
take really beautiful photos, really
Right.
great quality, and then it has like automatic enhancements and
real photographers hate that.
yeah.
Or they did at the time, certainly. I don't know if they care now. And I'm not saying you're not equating like the ability to draw that way and produce art in that way is not the same as giving a good prompt. It's more of a question of who is allowed to have access to this,
Right.
to this product. Well, back in the day, you didn't have access to video. People who had money had access or the ability to. They didn't have, it's weird. It's weird.
Is.
It's not
So
quite the.
I follow this guy on Instagram who is an AI artist.
Okay.
But then he like actually sells prints of the art that he creates, and then also has gotten like real sculptures made
based on what he created through
AI art.
Mm-hmm.
So that's weird too. Like,
Yeah.
is he then taking the place of someone who would be like a natural sculptor,
Right. That's, it's weird. It's a weird landscape to be living in right now. Or this is going to be a funny conversation 20 years from now.
Innovation.
Well, it's true.
And you can only go so far.
Well, with the advancement of technology, you always lose something and you gain something. You always lose, for instance, the typewriter manufacturers went out of business for the most part, and because of computers, okay? And computers and cell phones themselves have obliterated certain types of jobs. How many jobs have they created?
Yeah.
We wouldn't exist without the smartphone.
Yeah, our job.
Our job would not, well, yeah, we would. Really Very Crunchy would not exist without a smartphone. There wouldn't be podcasts, hardly. There wouldn't be places to watch videos.
Wasn't YouTube around?
Barely. YouTube was barely around when I was in high school. And so, like, if it didn't advance into, like, cell phone territory, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing right now. And so things are created out of these innovations, but things are obliterated. And unfortunately, what we're seeing and potentially seeing in AI is the decimation of a lot of art forms or a lot of creative jobs.
I feel like a lot of art forms have already been in jeopardy with the dawn of mass production. I mean, you can go to Home Goods and get something that looks like fine art.
Yeah.
And people don't care. Like, I care.
Sure.
In my home, I want real paintings. A lot of, I mean, I have prints right here. I actually got these at Home Goods, but it was too perfect to pass up these ducks.
Yeah.
But
didn't this artist, you see the signature there, did they not at some point sell this to somebody to be able to be used?
I don't know, because
surely they did. There's signatures on it, unless it's a fake signature or something.
Well, you can access a lot of like nature drawings and stuff online for free because it's public domain.
Well, yeah,
type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they accessed that and then just printed it and sold it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people do that on Etsy. They sell prints that are public domain.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could sell prints of the Mona Lisa. I don't imagine anybody owns the copyright to the Mona Lisa, right?
I don't know. That one, I don't know.
That'd be interesting. I don't know. Well, it's like old books. You can, like, when we write a Robin Hood book, we can write a Robin Hood book. Nobody owns Robin Hood anymore.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, art eventually does become the public's, at some point.
But I don't think AI is ever going to make it as beautiful as it's made by a human hand.
But when it's digital, I'm saying it doesn't necessarily. It's the ducks. It's like do you want you could theoretically tell AI to make this so you could print it. This duck that's on our wall. You could. And so is that different than I don't know.
Yeah.
It's complicated. Can I read a comment by somebody from YouTube? From Stardrop7-T8T. As an artist, generative AI is just killing my dreams. I still do art, but it makes me so upset when I join an art competition, especially ones for money, and an AI artist wins when they put zero effort into it. Most AI artists can't draw anywhere close to what they generate. It's interesting.
But they're actively expressing that they are an AI artist, and how do you
I don't know.
like I feel like that would disqualify you.
I would hope so in certain types of art competitions. So they didn't really specify, but there are a lot of people in the comments saying like, yeah, I'm an artist and this really stinks because I'll never be able to sell anything. A lot of digital artists are out there that maybe they can't. Some artists obviously can produce gorgeous stuff that AI can't touch right now. A lot of artists, aspiring artists, well, they can't necessarily even make what AI is able to make right now. And so what does that person do? You would say, well, keep trying and keep getting better, but it feels like a uphill battle compared to what it even was. It was already an uphill battle to try to be an artist.
And this sounds cold.
To be an artist for profit, I guess I should say.
So, and this is going to sound so cold.
Yeah.
Because I am in a creative field.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's like, yeah.
Oh, we're going to talk about us in a minute.
But, like, how many artists can there be? So, I think a lot of people, especially with the dawn of the internet and, like, being able to see someone living this dream life, it's just like flower farmers. It's like such a saturated market, and people are getting mad that other people are becoming flower farmers. And it's like, well, you can't really get mad because you became a flower farmer. Right. Yeah, like you did it first, but somebody did it before you, and you just saw that and thought, I want to do that.
Right.
And it's kind of the same thing. Like, so many young people want to be a creative or an artist or, live a van life.
Yeah.
Because they saw it on the internet and it was like glamorous and a good life. Like, if you can be an artist and make quite a lot of money, but not have like the high stress environment of having to be an RN in the emergency room, like, what are you gonna go for,
Well, pretty soon there's gonna be robot RNs, so you watch out, RNs.
I mean, my mom just had a knee replacement surgery, and it was gonna be robotic until she said that she's sensitive to metals, and so they decided
robots are made of metal.
But
that's for sure.
So, I mean, like, it is true. It's infiltrating the medical field as well.
I'm sensitive to AI. Can't really handle it. This person on YouTube kind of echoes what I think a little bit. Athena8534. AI art shouldn't be used in competitions and businesses. I don't really necessarily agree with that, but if I want a quick drawing of something for a role play campaign, which I don't do that. I'm just saying I don't do that either. I'm not paying $200 to $800 and wait a month for it to be completed. Sorry, but I do agree it shouldn't be used to make money or gain monetary value off of or be eligible for competitions unless it's an AI competition, I guess. So, like, essentially what I'm agreeing with is like, okay, if you need like a reference photo or like you want to create something to try to be inspired by something else, to create something, or it's kind of like if a business is starting a business,
right? Yeah,
you don't have to pay a ton of money to just get that done.
Yeah, but then you're putting someone out of a job.
Not if you wouldn't have paid them anyway.
But maybe they would have, because that would have been the only option.
Well, for your role-playing game, you don't have to commission an artist unless you're selling it.
So we're going to make like really strict rules on where it's okay.
No, I'm not.
I actually have an adorable picture of my children that was painted by my brother using reference photos of them, 2 separate photos. He merged them. It's so cute. Can you post a link?
Do you have a link?
You
to
just
it?
like put it in a file and then you just like post a link.
You're making my job harder. Can we get
cute.
AI to do that?
People like it.
Okay.
I was actually pretending to paint it in the AI video.
Yeah.
I was stealing an artist's work.
Oh, John wouldn't care. Yeah. I mean, so here's an interesting thing. Adrian Brody won an Oscar for Best Actor this year. AI was used to help him with his Hungarian accent in the movie. How do you feel about that?
And then he won
the Oscar. I'm not saying I didn't see the movie, but I'm not saying he didn't do a good job. He might have done a phenomenal job. However,
in the past, you would have had to travel to Hungary if you really wanted to go above and beyond.
He didn't quite Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's what
role.
I'm saying.
Like, he didn't. Did he learn Hungarian accent?
Wow.
That seems a little weird to me, and I think it's fine to do that for your movie, I guess. Maybe, but then to win best actor, that's a little odd to me. For any kind of help in that way, it's like
right. I mean, whenever we make videos, you direct me, and you'll even tell me an inflection if I'm not like getting it, and I would even feel weird. Not that there's like a there's not YouTube Oscars, but
there might be. Actually. We'll never get one.
I feel weird getting like an acting, looking at the amount of help sometimes you offer me.
Well, that's kind of like saying he couldn't get an Oscar if he had a Hungarian accent coach. Like, I mean, that's not true because you're learning it. You're learning it and then you're delivering the performance. He didn't deliver the perfect Hungarian accent. AI did.
Wait.
They altered his voice.
They altered his voice? I thought you were saying he had an AI coach.
No.
They altered his voice?
From my understanding, and you can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, and I'm not saying it's the whole movie, maybe in just 1 or 2 spots. I'm not sure. I think it was very minimal. They altered his voice to be a better Hungarian accent.
No.
Yeah.
If it is
that's what I'm saying.
AI altered,
absolutely
not. Yeah, put me in there and tell them to make me the most beautiful woman in the world.
Well,
and
you already are.
Yeah. If
you need that's what are you talking about?
Altered. You can't that is not true. That is not real. That is no.
Yeah. Well, let's go down the wrap up alley, okay? What does this mean for social media? What does this mean for us as content creators who make comedy, who eventually if we're in this 5 years from now,
could be affected.
We're going to be competing against videos that look as real as ours.
Yes, maybe, but I will say you have tried to use AI for ideas, and it's horrible. It's not funny.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't get it. There's a nuance. There's a human nuance that it cannot grasp.
Yeah.
Or right now it can't. So I'm saying
it is as simple as give me 5 scenarios where Emily and Jason are arguing about food or something like that.
Yeah, and it's like Jason buys Doritos and Emily catches him hiding in the closet. That's not really funny.
Yeah, there's no nuance at all. It's comedy, I think it's going to have to come a long way for it to get comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I won't use it when it does because I don't think that's fun. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not enjoyable to write down a machine's, quote, creativity. It's not interesting. Menial tasks, I love it. Like,
Okay, but
help me
somebody
polish this. I go back to email a bunch, but like I use it for email. I did it today. I was emailing somebody to see if they wanted to come on the podcast or whatever, and I did not like my wording, and I did not want to deal with it. Polish this email, make it sound good, professional. And I was like, I still had to tweak stuff. It still didn't do it well. I
Yeah.
still had to fix it. But
Somebody wrote an AI book about me.
they did. We bought it.
We've talked about it.
It's so
It was totally
funny.
wrong.
Born in Indiana to 5 sisters. No. I think that what it's going to do, AI in the long run, is going to create even more. We already have this growing hunger for real human things. I think eventually you're going to have like a tag of for products, even online products, digital products, human verified, or like human, this is made with no AI. They're already doing that. You have on some YouTube videos, there's a place where, and I think Instagram too, where you're supposed to check whether you used AI in any part of the footage or anything. So they're already trying to do that, and I think people are going to seek out like human made verified, just like you would see an organic label on something. It's like on digital products, I think people are going to look for human verified content eventually. And I think some people just won't care, and I think people won't care about certain things, but like
when, like I said, I'm served these pictures of beautiful kitchens. Like it's not even fun for me to look at. It doesn't even look good because it's fake.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on Botox and fillers and all that.
the real fake.
It's like, to me, beauty is real.
Mm-hmm.
But we're becoming so obsessed with everything being, I mean, that's a different level of a layer that I didn't even think about. We're making ourselves fake.
Yeah, that's the whole fear with AI and like it becoming sentient, and then it, they're talking about brain chips and everything else and people fusing with AI. I mean, we're a long way from something like that.
One day you're getting lip fillers, next day you're getting a brain chip. You're on a path. Stop it now.
Yeah. I don't think we'll ever get there. I think there'll be a full-on revolt, or we'll have a nuclear war before then, so we're fine. We don't have to worry about AI, or AI will get so good that it'll just take over and be done with us.
One thing I did read really quick, and I know we're wrapping up, is the level of acceleration in AI far exceeds human capabilities.
Yeah.
So, like, that's where it gets really, we're on the cusp. This is a tipping point right now, so we have to stop it before it goes too far.
It's not going away.
Yeah. But we need to downgrade it.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think the people with all the money are doing everything they can for whatever reason to see what this can do, to the detriment of humanity. I don't understand that. I don't understand why are we messing with something that is so powerful, and it is obviously not. There are ways it can help us. Why aren't we focusing on let's make it do menial tasks. Let's make it into the next washing machine. Let's put it into a robot that actually cleans our house versus, well, I don't know. If you've seen iRobot, you probably don't want that because Sonny's going to come after you. But why aren't these people who like see this happening look at the art side of it and think, yeah, this probably isn't good? We don't want you to make it easier.
Yeah.
In creativity.
Yeah.
We don't want that necessarily. Nobody actually wants that.
Uh-huh.
And that's weird. Like, I don't want a fake podcast to listen to.
Yeah, that's weird.
There's talk out there that there will be podcasts between two AI and it'll sound like humans talking. It's been this episode. I tried it out.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But can you imagine? Like, it's soulless. It's soulless.
Mm-hmm.
There's no nuance. I mean, they can pretend all at once, but it's not human. It never will be. I don't care what sentient actually is. It never will be human.
Yeah.
It's just soulless. And it's really a testament to the advancement in technology of how much we're just losing ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for being part of the problem in that video. I guess.
You won't do it again?
No, we raised awareness. Raised awareness? Raised awareness? Yeah, raised. Yeah. Sorry.
AI would be able to answer that.
Yeah. Anyway, next episode is going to be completely AI. Our voices may be a little off.
He's kidding.
If you like AI stealing artistic jobs, leave a review.
No, that's not who we want to review. We want the other people.
If you think AI should take over the Really Very Crunchy podcast, leave a comment below.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us again this week, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good week, everybody.
Bye.